up. 2nd and 6 now from the 24. From the gun, Samuels. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Samuels. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Marquise Brown, 62 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize. But when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Here's Murray. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
38-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Going deep for Hopkins. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 14-yard line.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
15-yard line.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Got it open man. It's Ruggs. His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Dances by him, shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
To number 37.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 29-yard line.
From the gun, Murray. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
To number 15.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. Take this one home. It's a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Murray trying again after the pick six. Rolling to his right. And he's got the hook up to Ruggs. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. And what a big-time play there. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll try the left side. Lawrence. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
And at the 25-yard line, his guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll need to regroup after the costly interception last time. It led to a tying touchdown. 21 all is where we stand, and they've got it 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Jeff Okudah up from his cornerback spot to make the play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Samuels. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. he's scooped up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, and suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And that's incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Samuels. And it is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Speed, instead he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up, it's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. They work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Samuels. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
To the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 10-year vet knocks it toward the goalpost, and that'll bring them back within 4. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At their own 25-yard line.
offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Shotgun now from Murray. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Murray now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 2nd down, it's Lawrence. And down inside the 10 at the 9. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Murray again. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray to air it out again. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Lawrence. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's Murray, a quick throw complete, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a two-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, Samuels. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. They're able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
39-yard line.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brought down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Down at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to run with Akers. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Off the bootleg. Samuels sliding out of the pocket. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 3 yards out. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
I thought that was a nice job there of feeling the pressure and rolling out away from it and keeping the play alive. And I think he did it with the idea that his tight end would find his way free in the end zone, and his confidence was rewarded.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Golden Eagles 35. Thunderbirds 30.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. And Murray, he's going to run with it himself. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
On 2nd and 12, Murray. That one complete to Keene, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. He's got his tight end Fant. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Mexico City.
On first down, Lawrence. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Carried by number 30.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Lawrence. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
37.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Circle that drive, because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes, because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. His guys take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. On first and 10, Samuels. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
A big loss on the play. Brings up second down.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The offense on third down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever. Operating from the gun, Samuels. Going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. From the gun, Samuels. He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Throwing on first down. Samuels flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's out right at the 25. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision maker.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Toronto, first down.
Now this this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First down. First and 10.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Samuels eluding the pressure right. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
They'll run on first down. It's Lawrence. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Chase Young on the tackle.
Tackle made by Chase Young.
On the play. 2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Lawrence. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing now is Murray. They'll try to set up the screen. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here to 4. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Isaiah Simmons picking it up. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They're going to run this pass with a tight end. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
Brandon, if I wanted to run the football this close to the goal line, I think I'd just turn around and hand it to my tailback. Too many things could go wrong in this situation. I think they're fortunate just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. On 2nd down now, it's Lawrence, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Lawrence. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. Settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.